Hey, everybody, and welcome to the Psychic Sisters. This is Katie Weaver. I'm here with my sister, co host, and partner in all things psychic, Kristi Brower. Hello.
Hello. Hey, everybody.
How's it going?
It's going pretty well. Going
Well,
pretty well.
good.
I got a mani pedi today. I'm
Very
not going to show you my
nice.
toes. I can't get them up that high, but yeah,
Did you go to Sola?
I did. Yes.
Nice.
Our new little nail salon we like here. And yes, it was just as good as last time. And
Awesome.
I keep putting sandals on and going, this is absolute a travesty. I've got to get my life together and get a pedicure.
When Matea was home over Memorial Weekend, she was like, do you want me to do your toes? Because they look like they could use it. And I'm like, yes, I do. They well, the last time I'd had them done is when we had them last done at that little place called Sola in Idaho Falls that is awesome, and they
Yeah.
were just really they were gel, and so they stayed, but they were growing way out and, looking janky and yeah.
Yeah. As
Sherry,
they're
I was
known to do.
not watching the softball game. I We've been on a mountain adventure this afternoon, me and Scott and Mars, and we got home at 6:55.
My gosh. Wow.
Ran a brush through my hair, put some powder on my face, threw on a sweater, and ran into my office.
Well, well, good.
And Scott ran and grabbed me a Powerade because I needed something. But I want to show you guys some pictures from our adventure this afternoon. The Idaho mountains are a good reason to live here. Oh, looks like
had I had to change accounts, so your picture.
I
Yeah,
see that.
I keep trying to start this in the wrong account, and then I don't have the intro.
uh, anyway, there are a reason to live here when there's lots of others that aren't. But
Is it worth it? Is this enough?
right,
Is the
these
question.
mountains they do help. They definitely
Mhm.
do help. So let's see. I had two pictures not show up, I think. Maybe these. So we were off on a mushroom gathering adventure. And man, did we see mushrooms. Holy cow. So this is what it looks like up in there. So it's kind of
Mhm.
fun because we go up here this time of year for mushrooms. Then we'll go back in July for rose petals. And then we'll go back in August for huckleberries. And it's the same place. So the morels grow under the huckleberry bushes. So, and then
How
the
are the huckleberry
roses,
bushes looking?
hmm,
Do they look
really good.
okay? Oh, good.
Super good. Yeah. Here in this picture, like on the right side, that's all huckleberry scrub. Yeah. They're looking,
Nice.
and all of this, like up in here along the back of this picture, all huckleberry scrub. It looks amazing. Yeah. Yeah. So the
And
huckleberry
no,
tree,
Sherry, we do not have chiggers.
nope. Mm-mm.
We don't
We don't.
have very many bugs, actually, because
Yeah.
of how cold it gets here.
Hmm.
We can go walk out through stuff like that, and I mean, the only thing we have to watch out for is ticks, but even then, we don't have that many.
We also don't have roaches.
No, we do not.
No
Or
cockroaches
rats.
or rats, but we also don't have
Mm,
possums, regrettably. But
yes, sad.
yeah. So I was going to show you what the morels look like growing. They're just peeking up from the ground like that, and you have to have an eye for them. You have to remember what you're looking for, and you'll see them peeking up. But we also saw that's a really big one.
That is
We
a
also
huge one.
saw, yeah, we picked a ton of giants this time. We came home with like a big, like Tupperware container full and a Walmart sack filled to the brim.
Wow.
Yeah, and Mars would have kept picking, and I'm like, I have to go home. I have a show. Anyway,
Right?
we found here's some oysters that were growing on the side of a tree. Scott's like, "Ooh, do I pick them? Do I take them?" I'm like, "No, we're here from else. You can do oysters later." But we saw oysters, we saw chanterelles, we saw those big brain, the dark, like rust-colored brain mushrooms that are super poisonous
Oh,
several
yeah.
times. We saw fairy rings, we saw inky caps. Yeah, we saw a ton of mushrooms up in there. So it was super fun. We saw wild turkeys. We found some bones from what looked like had to have been an elk, like the femur and stuff. So
Oh, wow.
yeah. But
Such a beautiful place up in there.
oh my gosh, just gorgeous. So yeah, that was super fun. So that's what we were doing. Yep,
Nice.
indeed. Well, we usually start this show off the very same way with that most important question. What did you have for dinner?
Well, I had a doctor's appointment, and when I got home, Rhonda had barbecue chicken on the grill and um, a gratin potatoes in the oven. I was like,
Well,
"Go here."
this
So yeah,
girl,
we had a very nice dinner.
that is awesome. We have not eaten yet. Last night, Scott put a rack of ribs on the smoker, and they did not complete until 2 o'clock this morning.
Oh, good Lord.
So we ended up having sandwiches for dinner last night. It was fine, but so we're having those for dinner tonight, and baked
Mm,
potatoes, and as you can imagine, sautéed morels in butter and garlic.
mm-hmm.
So yeah, but we haven't eaten yet because, as you know, we just got home. But
Right.
yeah, pretty fun. Corin said, I've been too traumatized by too many British cozy mysteries to ever bring myself to eat mushrooms from anywhere but the grocery.
Right? See, first of all, I don't even like to eat mushrooms, but this
Mm.
is terrifying to me. Like, you guys know what you're looking at? I would definitely pick the most exciting looking ones, and those are the ones that are going to kill you.
We've
So,
picked a lot of mushrooms over the years, though, and didn't know. We have a friend. Our friend Tina is a master mushroomer, meaning she's taken like all the tests and like knows
ah,
what'll kill you and what won't. I have sent her a billion pictures over the years for verification of
will I die if I eat
what's a
this?
yes and what's a no, and is this what I think it is or no, it isn't. And yeah, we've had help definitely because it makes me nervous too, for sure.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's cool though.
yeah, it's kind of fun. And we've never come into morels like that before. Like we always end up with like enough for dinner, but
Mhm.
holy cow, this is enough to feed us a few times and then put a bunch of them in the dehydrator and have them all winter long. So that's pretty
Wow,
fun. Yeah,
that's
that's
great.
always the hope. I noticed a big puffball coming up in my backyard the other day,
Oh, wow.
and I was like, okay, we'll see what happens. And then it was gone the next day.
We get those
The puffballs,
in our yard. I
they're
think the squirrels
cool.
take them.
Maybe they do. I was pretty
They'll
sure it was the
disappear after
pigs,
a while.
but you guys, oh, this morning we have one dog. I've talked about him before, our corgi Lou, that is a very challenging, troubled dog that can't live around our other dogs at all because he tries to kill everything that he comes in vicinity of. And we feed Lou, we shelter Lou. We give him one-on-one attention. It's all you can do because he's just dangerous. There's just something wrong in his brain. And believe me, I have tried everything over the years. He is 15 years old.
Mm,
But he's at night, we let him out. He has a big run with a big dog house, like a barn actually. Like Lou's not picked on. Don't think that he is, but um still not the way I like to keep my dogs at all. But he has just given me no choice. But this morning, so we let him out at night so that he can run the backyard because he loves it. And then in the mornings I go and I put him back in his pen with a hot dog, his daily hot dog, and he so I did that, put him to bed, came back and realized, you guys, there was a dead crow on my patio.
oh
I screamed. I ran in the house.
no.
Scott had to get up and get dressed and go take care of it because I just couldn't even handle the thought.
I
I was
know. Well, you and dead
horrified.
anything.
Yeah, and a crow. And I was like, my
Yeah.
God, crows mate for life. So I'm like, if this is one of my pair that we feed, not only did we
Yeah.
cause this by feeding them and chumming them in here, but also, oh my God, that they were both at the feeder this morning. So it wasn't one of them. I cried
Mm.
and cried and cried and cried. I was so upset.
Oh, shit.
Feck that dog. God damn it.
Yeah.
Oh, awful.
But how did he get a crow?
That's what Scott said. He said,
Maybe it was injured or sick or something, because I
that's
can't imagine him being able to just catch a crow.
me neither. And he's a corgi. He's not that tall. He's fast
No.
and he's vicious, but Oh my gosh. I well, and I had a show this morning. I was a guest on someone else's radio show that I work with and got up a little bit late. And so I was already like, oh gosh, I've got to be on the air in 40 minutes and I need to make coffee and, like do my normal morning things. And then I find this fucking crow and I cried forever. I had a hard time getting myself together to go on that show. And then it turned out just fine. But oh my gosh, I was absolutely heartbroken. But then pretty soon Scott's like, hey, I'm watching both of your crows at the feeder. They're here. It wasn't them.
Hmm.
My only other worry is that it was their baby. I didn't think they fledged this year. They haven't acted like they were spending enough time in their nest to think that they had a
Mm-hmm.
baby. And it was so cold for so long that I thought that maybe they didn't fledge this year. But
Mm-hmm.
when they start bringing their baby to the feeder, it looks the same as them. They're the same size. You wouldn't even know they were the baby, except for that you see where they're coming from. So it's
Mm-hmm.
possible they did fledge this year and their baby
Mm.
fell out of the nest.
Oh, I hope not.
I asked Scott if it looked like it could have been a baby, and he's like, "I really didn't look that close." He goes, "I don't know." He said it was the same size as these guys, though, so I don't know, but
Hmm.
oh, boo.
Damn
Anyway,
it.
yeah,
Well, that sucks.
not cool. Let's move on to better topics. Amy had pizza. It is Pizza Thursday.
It is
Sherry
pizza
had deviled
Thursday.
eggs. Cranky had pot pie, tater tits, and ice cream. They have those tater tits a lot at their house. I'm not sure what
They
she's trying to
do. I have
say.
heard that. Hmm.
Oh, Courtney said I had prefab gumbo on the stove, prefab,
That's funny.
and garlic bread in the oven. Lillian made coconut shrimp, cheddar bay biscuits, salad, and sauteed onions and veggies. Oh, wow.
Nice.
Bianca said, they're about to order Chinese. Christy had a toasted bagel with olive oil and dipping seasonings.
Ooh, nice.
Victoria said she's going to have a PB&J. Sounds good.
Sometimes that sounds awesome.
Yeah. JR had French toast. Looks like everyone's doing just fine. Yeah,
Hmm.
puffballs are a mushroom that look like a round, perfectly round white ball. And if you can leave them alone long enough and the conditions are right, they can get huge, like basketball sized.
Hmm.
They don't taste like a thing. They're really, really plain. Pretty much they will taste like whatever you cook them in. So if you slice them up and cook them in like a really good garlic butter or something like that, that's what they'll taste like. They don't really have much of a flavor on their own, but they're kind of spongy. Like they're not bad. They're not
They're
interesting.
so weird though because they just look like they just arrived because they're so perfectly round. It doesn't even look like they grew from anything.
Right.
When we
They
get them in
just
the backyard,
show
I
up.
always think it's like somebody just dropped it from the sky.
Yeah. Well, and they can go from like an itty bitty guy to the next day being this huge thing.
Hmm.
And they're fleshy all the way through.
Yeah,
It's crazy the way they
yeah,
grow.
they are weird.
Mhm.
Yeah, we have one spot like right in the middle of our yard that we'll get those.
Mhm. Yeah, wild. We've seen them a few years ago. We were at weren't we at Bannock Ghost Town in Montana?
Mm-hmm.
And they had all of those ones. There was a ton of them up in there,
Mm-hmm.
like up in the wood piles and stuff like that were pretty cool.
Yeah. True,
I would really
true.
like for us to do that this summer, to do a ghost town tour in Montana. Wouldn't that be fun?
Ooh, we could do some videos for you guys.
We could. We could do kind of like our cemetery tour of a couple of years ago and go do a
Yeah.
ghost town tour.
There's so many of them here. I don't
Yeah.
know if that's a thing where all of you are from, but here, because it was, we literally live in the wild, wild west
Well, a
still
lot of these
today.
little,
Uh,
a lot of the
there are
little boom
lots of cool
towns.
ghost towns.
Yeah. And Montana is packed with them.
Hmm.
And a lot of them, they've gone to great lengths and expense to preserve a lot of them.
Yeah. And some are just Coolidge is one of my most favorite ones, and it's not really
Uh-huh.
preserved at all. It's just
Mhm.
out there. And it's just such a beautiful
Mhm.
place.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we could go to Boot Hill. I mean, there's lots of Boot
Mhm.
Hills, but there's a very famous one in Virginia City, Montana. Anyway,
Mhm.
we should think about it. Yeah.
Yes, we should.
Well, sounds like everyone is just rolling. We all made it through that full moon over the weekend. I didn't think it was bad. This was the last full moon I thought was brutal. This one I felt like I actually slept through it and didn't feel like it messed with me all that much.
Yeah, I did fine.
On the other show I was on this morning, we were talking about Saturn, that they've just discovered that Saturn has 9 more moons than they thought it did. We were laughing
Really?
about how would it feel to live on a planet that has like a whole bunch of moons?
So it's like you're in some moon phase all the time. I mean, I guess
Right.
we are too, but like there's always something that's full and always something that's new.
But
Like,
you're in like all of the moon phases all the time.
yeah. Yeah, that's what I was trying to say.
But also, this morning, the Schumann resonance was 120.
You guys, I know why. I don't know if I should say it.
Go ahead.
Someone might be offended, but it's because Pat Robertson died. He's such a hateful bigot that I think the Earth's vibration just leaked into the
Into the ethers.
stratosphere. I think that's why.
I think that's, I will accept that answer. Someone else said that that's all that smoke that everybody's getting on the East Coast from that we're being told it came from Canada. That was actually just the gates of hell opening up for Pat Roberts.
It's the gift of Pride 2023, I think.
Yeah, but that is crazy high.
It
So the
is.
Schumann resonance, if you don't know, the Schumann resonance is basically what people consider to be the pulse of the Earth. It was discovered in 1953 by a scientist by the last name of Schumann. It's literally a pulsing sensation that the Earth is emitting, and they measure it in hertz. And he started measuring it, and it was 7.83 hertz. Always. I mean, it might stray up a teeny tiny bit, like maybe up to 9 at the very maximum, and then back down into the 7.83 range. But it was right there, clear up until right around 2015, 2016 ish. And then suddenly it started spiking and like jumping up into like 20, 30. Holy shit, what is this? That's crazy. And then it would come back down. But
Hmm.
that's the mean. 7.83 is the mean. It comes back to that every time. Well, then in like 2017ish, it went clear up over 100 for several days and people were shocked. And then it came back down and it's been bouncing around ever since, but up to 120 today. I've never seen it higher.
Yeah,
Never.
that's really, really high.
It's come down somewhat. It's 57 now, but still, that's really high. So, I'm I'm curious. I'm mystified. Some people, when the Schumann gets really high like that, they are so anxious they don't know what to do with themselves.
Hmm.
Other people, when the Schumann gets high like that, they actually have a ton of great energy. Like they really feel good, get a lot done. They vibe really well with that frequency. So it just depends. But anyway, wild, really wild. But
Hmm.
so basically, in the New Age world, we've always we've taken a hard look at the Schumann resonance and decided just by feeling out the collective energy of the Earth, uh, it is a barometer for how people are doing. The fact that
Hmm.
it was that high today worried me this morning when I saw it, thinking, "Oh God, please don't let us have some kind of mass shooting or other bullshit today." Because when the Schumann's that high, it does push some people right on over the edge.
Yeah, that's definitely the thing you notice is that anybody that's a little vulnerable to begin with may get a
Mhm.
little bit more.
Mhm. And people with anxiety disorders sometimes really struggle when it gets high like that. But again, some
Hmm.
people do amazing. The Schumann resonance, Lynn. So,
Yeah.
anyway, interesting stuff. So, we'll have to keep a look on it. Oh,
Did you know
Jane
there's
said,
an app?
no.
Yeah, there's a Schumann Resonance app that takes you
Oh,
right to that
cool.
Schumann and resonance.org website if you to read things, but it
Hmm.
actually shows you what the readings are every day. I
Oh,
put it on my phone.
interesting. Oh, that's cool. I just always have them, the Disclosure News. Disclosure News is kind of an interesting site because it's kind of a, I save it just for the Schumann resonance because they also have some really wild conspiracy theory stuff on there that I'm like, what in the fuck is this? But
But I mean, have you seen the disclosures this week about UFOs?
yes, Yeah.
the high up officials who are like former officials who a bunch of stuff's been declassified and they're talking about that the US literally has possession of multiple non-human crafts.
Yeah. Stuff the US has been denying forever. Yeah.
Well, and that there was a some kind of a crash in the backyard of some people in Las Vegas just a couple of days ago
Mhm.
where they saw 2 8-foot tall beings in their backyard and some kind of a um craft landed in their backyard.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think we're getting closer and closer to some truth
Mhm.
about what our government really knows,
Mhm.
which I've always believed is way more than they say. But man, it
Definitely.
really makes you think. Yes, Lillian, it was not a good day for someone else today, as we know.
This is true
Some
too.
real orange guys got indicted again for 7 counts of federal crimes.
Yeah.
Federal crimes.
Lots of
It's an
stuff.
interesting day. It's an interesting day that Pat Robertson dies and Trump gets indicted again
Mhm.
on the same
And the
day, and
Schumann
then the
resonance
Schumann
is
resonance shoots
120.
way up. Like, I mean, come on.
What is going on? Wild. Oh, Amy said we released our Roswell Part 2 episode today, and it was all about the conspiracies and what the truth is. Ah, interesting.
Very cool. Well, there's so much more coming out and so much
Yeah.
more people high up that know who are willing to talk and feeling like it's safer to talk.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
this idea that the US it's been a belief for a long time that there's reverse engineering going on and that that's where a lot of our technology has come from.
Mhm.
And I really yeah. The
Mhm.
earth is just having a party today. Yes, Amy, I think so. Unfortunately, it's also burning Canada to the ground and that is not good.
Yeah. Yeah. So, we actually did want to have a healing circle today for Canada because, my God, the devastation there is just growing faster and faster.
No.
In
And the
fact,
air quality problems are just terrifying.
mhm, President Biden signed an emergency order today to send a bunch of help up there to help fight those fires. So
They need it. It is scary.
they do. And when we have fires out of control, they come and help us frequently. So I'm glad
They
that he
do.
did that. They are good neighbors to us, and we should definitely help them in a time of need like this. So,
Right.
holy moly. Yeah. So that was what our thoughts were today is that we would do a healing circle and then we'll do some readings
Mhm.
if that works for everybody. Yeah. Yes, you guys on the east is having such terrible air quality. And we
We
get it.
feel you because we get it here
Yeah.
too, but we don't have it right now,
No.
fortunately. But it's terrible. You know, I do Amazon Flex delivery, and in our app, it said that in some places the air quality is so bad that they may actually not let people work
Wow.
because it's too dangerous to send people out into that.
Oh, yep. I'm not surprised though. That's terrible. Well, and for anybody whose lungs are already kind of pissed off, ooh, not
Right?
good. Not good at all.
Right. I have asthma, and when we start getting the smoke, when we get it here, that's when I need my rescue inhaler pretty regularly.
Yeah.
But I
Oh,
can't
yeah.
imagine like just what the images are coming out of like in New York and stuff.
Oh
Oh,
my
scary.
gosh.
The sky is terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah, JR, the sky is orange in New York. It is.
I was thinking about New York City and how frequently in New York I look at what you guys are going through and just feel so sad for the homeless population.
Oh God, right?
They're
There's
much
no way
more
to get away
unable
from
to
that.
escape that. Yeah, that is so dangerous.
Mm, very dangerous.
Really sad. Yeah.
Are you all right?
Yeah. I've been coughing ever since we came home from camping, just from a few days of a campfire. But,
Mhm,
well, our wood was wet. We'd had so much rain. And so our fires were just super smoky and ugh, boo. We
mhm.
hate it. All right. So I get a little bit of music going here, really low, I think. I'm going to go really low. We'll see how that goes.
I thought of that too, Jane. Californians are like, did they sweep their forests? Like 45 suggested we did. Yeah, I thought that too. When I saw about those fires, I was like, some idiot up there telling them the same thing.
Probably not, but yeah. Scary though. Scary. Apparently, I didn't realize how many fires that Canada has had here the last few years, but apparently they've had their asses kicked about as much as we have.
They have, yeah.
Yeah. Alrighty, so let's see. All right, go ahead and close your eyes. Take a few deep breaths here with me. I would like you to envision yourself walking along a path in a forest. There are trees and flowers, and it is very inviting. In just a few moments, I'm going to count backward from 10 to 1. As I do so, I would like you to continue to walk along the path, getting deeper and deeper into your spirit with every step you take. You will be walking towards a clearing where we will all be meeting. When I reach 1, you'll step out into a meadow. And in the center of that meadow, we will all be gathering to do some healing work today for our planet. So starting with 10 now, walking along the path. 9. 8. You can feel the pine needles crunching under your feet. You can smell the trees. 7. 6. 5. 'The sun is shining and the sky is blue. It's warm but not hot. You can feel a breeze and hear the birds. And you are getting deeper and deeper into your spirit and closer to our gathering with every step that you take. 4. 3. Almost there. You can see the opening at the end of the path. 2. 1. And you're there. Step out into the meadow now. You'll see me and Kristi and others gathering in the center of this clearing. Go ahead and walk out there now and join us. You'll see others stepping off of their path as well and walking out into the clearing. And now as we gather, Let's come into a circle now, taking hands. The point of our gathering today was to send our very best intentions to Canada to calm their fires. Perhaps you'll suck the oxygen out of the space. Perhaps you'll ask for rain and more water and help extinguishing. Perhaps you'll work on behalf of the wildlife that are affected, or the people, or just the healing of Mother Earth herself. But even as we do this work, there's always room for more. So at this point, I'd like to leave room for you to put anything else into the circle that you would like to have healing on today. Perhaps it's you, or a friend, or a family member, or a situation, or anything else that you would like to ask for healing for. Go ahead and speak that into the circle now. And let's begin. Some of you may pray or chant. Some of you will send love from your heart. Some of you will envision the highest and best outcome or practice an energy healing modality. There's no wrong answer. Trust yourself to join in the work. We'll start now. Very good. One more minute now to wrap it up. Okay. Returning to the circle now. Go ahead and drop hands. break the circle. We've done some good and powerful work here today. Please know that you can come back here anytime that you choose for peace, for healing, for comfort. You'll always remember your way back here. At this time, I would like for you to walk back to the path from which you came. In just a moment, I'm going to be counting forward from 1 to 5. And as I do so, you will start very deep in your spirit as you are now. And as I count, you'll get lighter and lighter and lighter until you'll be back in your waking consciousness. You'll remember everything you experienced here in this meadow. You'll remember how to return here. So now, stepping out of the meadow and back onto the path, 1, 2, getting lighter, 3, lighter still, 4, almost there, and 5, wide awake and refreshed. Okay, stretch yourselves. It's out of body work, so you always want to move yourself a little bit. Take a drink, do some things that ground you back into your body. Yeah. And there we go. Thanks, you guys.
Mm-hmm.
Super good work. Yeah.
That was really powerful. I used wind to pull all the smoke off from Canada and off from the United States out into the ocean where it would be able to dissipate without having impacting so many people.
Good. I like that. I focused on the animals. A lot of that.
Mm-hmm.
Worry. That's awesome. Anybody else that wants to share, you're more than welcome to.
Mm-hmm.
You're welcome, Jane. You bet, and Cranky. Okay, well, we figured we would spend the last few minutes doing a few readings. So if you would like a reading, this is the time to post it. I'm seeing a few things coming up. Let's see. Spirit could use some healing energy. She said she's in a lot of trouble, too much to mention, and being blamed for her own suffering, which is a trigger, sure, that a lot of abusers have used.
Yeah,
Absolutely. Do you want to work with Spirit?
I do.
And while you're doing that, I'm going to answer Rusty's question. So Rusty says, I lost my friend under tragic circumstances. We had a row before she died, and I never got to say, I'm sorry, the guilt is unbearable. Oh, I'm so sorry. Yeah, let me feel into it, and then I'm going to tell you a couple of things that I've learned from lots of mediumship over the years and other situations like this, but I want to tune in to her through you. She's a sass. She said, no, no, no. Don't you dare carry that. She said, the only thing you can do for me now is to live and be happy. It doesn't help me or you for you to be carrying that kind of guilt and sadness. She said, I love you. I've always loved you. and I don't want you to be sad and hurt. I'm not mad at you, so quit being mad at yourself. She said, instead of that, could you do some things for me? Could you listen to the music you know I love? Drink the drinks, eat the food? Can you do the sensory things for me that I can't do for myself now? If you can do that and find a way through this guilt, then I'll be happy. That's all I want. Yeah. So, Rusty, that's that's pretty straightforward, I think. But I want to tell you that I hear this from people a lot when somebody passes. They have guilt, for various reasons. Sometimes timings of things is really shitty and unfair. Sometimes it's just the way things line up. Sometimes it's just the circumstances or whatever. But when people die, when they cross over properly, which she did, uh, they don't carry those kinds of emotions with them to the other side. They just don't. They just don't really exist over there. All that shit, it just falls at the door. It stays here. So anybody that has someone who passed that you were in a thing with, they are not mad at you. They don't even have the capacity to be. They took what they learned, they took the love that they built. That's what they took. So if you're carrying that, you're the only one carrying that because they're not. Rusty, all I've received from you or from her for you is love. That's all. It's okay to forgive yourself and move on from this. I know it's easier said than done, but I hope that hearing that from her is enough to help you to be able to start laying it down. And I'm very sorry for your loss. Sherry, could you help me with getting rid of my ear ringing? Why is it doing this? Yeah. Are you ready to talk to Spirit?
Almost.
Okay. Let's see. Oh, Amy said she had angels flap their wings to blow off the smoke while rain poured down, then imagined people embracing and rebuilding. I love that, Amy. Yeah. Okay. Sherry, sometimes when your ears ring, I mean, sometimes it's physical, obviously, uh, but sometimes it's also a message. A lot of people have ear ringing when they're getting a message from angels or from people that have passed over. That's actually a pretty common thing. So I wanted to look into that and see if this is more of a spirit thing or more of a physical thing. So I'm going to ask. Nah, it's a physical thing. It's a eustachian tube thing. Have you ever gone to the chiropractor and had him drain your eustachian tubes? If you haven't, this would be a good time to do that. You've got some pressure building up and it's causing some tinnitus kinds of things. I would talk to your chiropractor about adjusting your eustachian tubes or adjusting your ears to help them drain to get rid of that. Boo. Not fun.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
Yeah. What have you got for spirit?
So, Spirit, I did clear your energy body and really balanced you to help you regulate and feel a little safer. You also had quite an attachment in the back of your neck from someone who's, probably whoever is telling you that you're to blame for your own suffering. Somebody's kind of attacked you from behind. And I did release that and I brought your vibration way up and I called in Archangel Michael and Archangel Elohim to help protect you. And just really brought your vibration way up because it was real low. And that it's very hard to protect ourselves when our vibration is low.
Okay. Darn it. Well, that should help you a lot, spirit. I'm sorry you're struggling. RJ would love some healing. Says she's feeling very tired lately.
Okay.
I'm gonna do that and I'll hit Victoria. Victoria said I dreamed about my grandmother the other day. Any messages? Well, let's tune into her. I love her. I think she can be a toughie if she needs to be, but man, she is so loving and kind. First off, she said she's so excited because she's coming to see you in lots of dreams, and you don't always remember them, which she said is a fine. But she's very excited that you did that you remembered. So I asked her if there's a message or anything that you needed to know. She said the dream, not so much. She said she was just coming to see you. Otherwise, she said she would love it if you talked to her more. She said that you frequently feel like that you don't really have anybody to talk to that actually understands you, and that you really wear different faces for different things. So she said it's just that people pleasing uh, thing that's kind of built into you or born into you. She says, but depending on where you are, kind of determines what face you wear. And she said that's not because you're two faced in a negative sense. She said it's because you have been led to believe that you have to be the right person for people at the right time, basically. She said, but that doesn't leave anywhere for you to have anyone who really understands you because you're always kind of conforming to what other people need you to be. So she wanted to just invite you to talk to her more. And she said that since you did experience her in a dream and it was exciting, that she'll try to come back more and let you see her and experience her more. So, yeah, so just talk to her. There's no magic pill for that. There's just talking. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so RJ, your root chakra was way out of alignment, shifted way off to one side. And when it's like that, you are not drawing as much life force energy as you need, and so you just need to shift it back into place. That's what I did. Put it back into place and balanced your energy body, and just brought your vibration back up. I think you'll feel a lot better. But sometimes things really throw us. Things that have to do with safety, security, stability, money, housing, relationships, anything that makes your life feel a little less stable will do that to your root chakra. And so that's what I corrected for you. I think you'll be feeling a lot better.
Good. Yeah. Okay. Corin said, I would love to know what I'm missing. I was thinking nutritionally or supplementally, but there could also be some other components. Pretty sure it's CFS, ME. So ways to feel better are who knows. Any thoughts for Corin?
I think, honestly, Corin, the first thing that came to mind is laughter, is adding in fun, joy. Um, it doesn't feel medical to me. This feels more like things get dragging you down.
Hmm.
And I do feel like that this is that building more joy into your life and more laughter into your life is something that helps to really raise your vibration. Laughter raises our vibrations really quickly. Oh, excuse me. Oh. Speaking of, I think I need some. But Lauren, I think that that's one place to look is actually
So,
how you build more joy and fun into your life.
some good endorphin building. I
Yeah.
like it. Awesome. Okay, so Amy, if you have time, can you talk to my cat Rocky and find out why he keeps scratching me in my sleep? He's always been rotten, but never while I'm sleeping. Okay, I will tune into him. JR said summer is almost here. Will I be able to get near a beach or a pool this summer?
Yeah, you will. You've just got to make it happen. Even if you go to a hotel that has a pool. Did you know that some hotels that have pools will let you pay just to use them? If you're looking for a way to just get some sun and get in the water, do that. Sometimes hotel pools are nice because they're not as busy as public pools, but I feel like it's a requirement. I feel like you're asking because you know that's what you need. Like you're really feeling the need for that connection to sun and water. So make it happen. I mean, I don't think there's anything getting in your way of it happening other than just finding a place that's feasible for you. But yes, definitely.
Okay, so on the cat, it's boredom. He's bored and bratty when you're asleep. He wants your attention, so he's being a jerk. I'm just showing him when you're sleeping that that is an absolute no, and that what we want him to do is to go either play with toys, scratch on his scratching board, or whatever. But do the things that you're supposed to do, and but to leave you alone and let you sleep. But yeah, this is total attention seeking behavior. There's nothing. There's no message. There's nothing he needs. He's just bored.
That's funny.
And it's, self-imposed because I know you've got stuff for him to do, so, yeah. Do I think George is coming around? Liliane, this is the dumbest question, and I think I know the answer, but George has passed, right? I'm gonna let you answer that before I look, but I'm quite sure that that's, that's the case. Needs some healing, feeling uncomfortable because of hip and lower back pain.
Mm,
Wanna grab that
okay.
one?
Yeah.
Jane, can you give me a timeline of when my landlord will sell and if I'm going to wind up moving? Plus, put a spell on me to start loving cleaning.
Oh man, if I knew how to do that. Oh, George is alive.
Oh, George is okay. This is not who I thought it was. Oh, I'm
Me either.
very glad I asked. Okay. Good thing we need to ask the right question of the right person. Okay. Uh all right. I'll get to that one too, but I'm going to answer Jane. Jane, the good news is I feel like their process is moving really slow too, which is good for you. I feel like you're going to have till at least fall, if not a little longer. It doesn't mean you don't need to get your shit together now, except for that you have been through a lot and you just transitioned back to your home. And I feel like you really need a few minutes to just get your feet underneath you, spend some time with other people, spend some time near the water, like ground in. And you have that. I'm going to recommend a book because I don't know what the magic pill for making you start cleaning is. I wish I did. I would give it to myself. But I wonder if there is a book called Magical Housekeeping by Tess Whitehurst. And she has all of these ideas for, and some of them you'll recognize of things I've suggested similar things before because of her book. Uh, she has all these fun ideas to make housekeeping more of a magical ritual. And it's fun and it does get you a little bit more exciting about it. But I know you've got a lot to go through and stuff to do, a whole lot like what you've already just been doing at your mom's forever. It just feels so mundane. My other thought is that you look for a teenager you can hire to come and help you do some things that has the energy for it and also needs a little money that you could just, bless them while they bless you. So those are two thoughts I've got for you. But I think you do have a little bit of time. Yeah. Yeah.
Marina, your hips are out of alignment. I did as much work with the energy part of your body as I can, but either a chiropractor or a massage therapist can put your hips back in place. But that's what's causing you your discomfort is that one is higher than the other,
Hmm.
and that is a physical like just a little movement that our sister knows how to do it. She does it
Mhm.
for me sometimes because my hips get out. Yeah, I know Katie's you do too.
Yeah.
But that's what it is. One hip is higher than the other. So find you a practitioner. I know that chiropractors and massage therapists can do it. Maybe other people can too,
Mhm.
to line your hips back up.
Mhm. You might also just go to YouTube and look at the physical therapists on there and chiropractors.
True.
They give all kinds of exercises and movements and things to help yourself too, if you're comfortable. If you're not, don't do that. But
Yeah. Can you
um,
hear me, Katie?
yeah.
Because I've lost the ability to hear you. I can
Oh,
see that you're talking, but I can't hear you.
yeah. Oh, that's weird. Yeah. No, I can hear you.
I'm gonna check my audio.
Let's see. We are just about out of time, but I did want to get to that question from Lillian.
Huh,
So let me tune in to George.
weird. Oh, it's okay. You keep talking. I will fix it.
Okay. Answer yes. I do feel George. I think maybe you've been feeling him too. I feel him late in the fall. Yeah. No, it doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be. I don't have any idea of exactly what it's going to be or mean to you, but I do feel like he is coming back around into your sphere at least sometime in the end of the fall. So that'll be interesting. Yeah. And Jane, that's a good suggestion that maybe a playtime, a 20-minute playtime about or with Rocky
Well,
before
I
bed
can
would
see you,
help.
but I still can't hear you. I don't know what's wrong.
That is so wild. Well, the good news is we're done anyway. So we want to thank you guys. Oh, good
There we
Lord.
go.
You got it?
Fixed it. I don't know. My Bluetooth just died and then returned. I don't know what happened.
Oh, well.
Weird.
All righty. Well, that's that. So, thanks you guys all so much for being here. We'll be back next week, same place, same time. So, have a good weekend. Take super good care of yourselves, please. Everyone gets a cookie because that's the rule around here. So,
Right.
take care, guys. Thanks so much for being here. This has been yet another production of the Psychic Sisters.
Bye, everybody.